Hey everyone, today I'm going to be transplanting tomatoes, cucumbers, and zucchini. I'm going to go over everything that I'm using to give these plants a head start, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to protect them from pests, and if the temperatures get a little too cool at night, what I'm going to do to make sure that they can handle those cooler nighttime temperatures. I'm here in central New Jersey. Today is overcast. It's about 62 degrees. So it is actually the perfect day for transplanting. Intense heat, intense sunlight can really stress out the plant. So a day that's overcast, maybe a little cooler, is actually the perfect time to be transplanting those vegetables into the garden. Just be mindful of what it is you're transplanting. I also have peppers and eggplant, and I am gonna wait to transplant them for another week because it is just a little too cool for those types of vegetables. They like it a little bit warmer. 60 is probably the minimum temperature for peppers at night. But during the day they do need warmer temperatures. So right now I have them indoors because it's a little cool out, but I've been hardening them off, and we have an upcoming heat wave over the next several days, so that will help the plants that I'm putting in today, the cucumber, squash, and tomatoes, establish themselves, and it will be great for hardening off the peppers and eggplant, and then they'll get planted out next week. So be on the lookout for that upcoming video. I want to go over are the amendments that I am going to use in the planting hole, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to layer them in, but I want to go over why I'm using each. So the first thing I have here is worm castings. Now, worm castings are beneficial basically to every plant that you're growing in your garden. They are slow release fertilizer, so they will feed the plant over the course of the growing season, and they're super gentle. So you should be fertilizing your plants throughout the growing season. In addition to what you're putting in the planting hole, you're going to feed them every like 7 to 10 days. I am also going to be adding bone meal to the planting hole. Now, bone meal's primary objective is to feed the plants with phosphorus. Phosphorus is what will create that strong root in the soil. It'll help the plant to establish itself. I'll also be adding some of the crushed eggshells to the planting hole as well. This will just add that extra calcium that they need to prevent blossom end rot. Anything that is fruiting can be susceptible to blossom end rot, which is basically when the end of the fruit rots. So when it comes to crushed eggshells, you just save your eggshells, rinse them off, let them dry, and then store them, and they never go bad. You just put them in an airtight container somewhere, and you'll have them forever, and you just crush them as you need to. The last thing I'll be adding to the planting hole is the mycorrhizal inoculant. Basically, it is like a probiotic for your plants. It's going to add that good bacteria. It's going to help the roots form a symbiotic relationship with the soil, and it'll just, again, just help with that root development and creating a very strong and sturdy plant. Always start with pre-moistened soil. It's just easier to work the soil when it's damp, and it will prevent the soil from collapsing around the plant as you're putting it in its planting hole. I add a generous handful of worm castings. Then I add about a tablespoon of bone meal in the planting hole and a tablespoon of crushed eggshells. It doesn't have to be exact. I don't actually measure anything. And then I just mix that into the planting hole. Next, I'll sprinkle in some of the inoculant, and I don't mix this in because it does need to come in contact with the roots. These are the stoutest tomatoes I have ever planted, and it has to be because of my vertical grow light, but you can see this has a really good root ball. It has a sturdy, thick stem, and it has a lush canopy on top. Now, it doesn't matter how tall your plant is. This is about a little over 6 inches. We're going to remove all of the lower branches on the stem, and we're just going to leave that top canopy in place. And even if your plant is a lot larger, like I've planted tomatoes that have been 14, even 16 inches tall, and I will still bury the tomato up to the very top leaves of the plant because roots will form all along that stem, and it will just help to make that plant even sturdier. And then once you get it in your planting hole, you will just tamp down the soil around the plant gently just to settle it into place. This is a 10-gallon grow bag. I'm planting in 10 and 15 gallons. So these are large enough, and the plant is actually short enough to plant it vertically. But if you're dealing with a much taller plant, you can lay the plant horizontally, which is historically how I've grown those larger tomatoes that I have. And then you just sort of prop up the top of the plant so it's sticking out of the soil. Those same amendments I added for the tomatoes will apply to the planting hole for the cucumbers and zucchini as well. And what I've been doing all along when it comes to the zucchini and the cucumbers is I've been removing any of the flowers and any of, like, whether it's the male flower or the female flower, I've just been removing them. You just pinch it off. But even if it's really tiny, just pinch it off. And they're this young, you want to pinch off all of the flowers, and you want to send the energy to that plant, establishing roots in the soil and growing bigger so it can support the fruit that it then later produces. So once it's established, once it grows bigger, you can allow those flowers to form. But right now in the early stages of growth, whether you still have your plants hardening off indoors or you're ready to transplant them, definitely pinch off all the flowers when they're still young. Same process, generous handful of worm castings, little bone meal, little eggshells, and then work it into the planting hole. Then a sprinkle of the inoculant, and unlike the tomatoes, we're not burying these deep. We're just gonna plant these at the same depth as they were in their pots. I also have these Mexican sour gherkins. They're also known as cucamelons. They look like tiny little watermelons, and they're a prolific little cucumber. These I'm gonna train up a trellis. All the other cucumbers are going to get 6-foot stakes, and they're going to go in tomato cages. When it comes to pests, specifically for zucchini, which are susceptible to squash vine borers, which is essentially a bug that bores its way into the base of the stem of the squash and zucchini plants and basically destroys the plant on you. So something easy that you can do at planting time with just a little bit of aluminum foil is to protect the base of the plant. Let me show you how I do it. So you want to create a physical barrier so that the vine borer cannot reach the base. And so you need about a 3 to 4 inch wide piece of aluminum foil that you wrap around the base of the plant from the soil line up to that first set of leaves. And then the plant will continue just growing and the foil will stay in place, and this just creates that physical barrier so that the vine borer can't get to the stem. We also want to think about pest management for the tomatoes, and since we have these large bags, we can add in some basil and marigold to the 15-gallon grow bags. Now basil will prevent thrips, and it will also deter tomato hornworms, which are extremely destructive to your tomato plant. Marigold is just a really great garden companion all around, and this will benefit all the plants planted around it as well. It will deter root knot nematodes, and it will also attract beneficial insects, including pollinators, for this planting area. A good way to prevent disease specifically on your zucchini and the young cucumbers when they're still small is to add a layer of some mulch. I'm using straw mulch here, and this will prevent splashing of that soil on the leaves, because these cucumbers and zucchini are specifically susceptible to diseases that affect their leaves, and so you want to prevent any of that, like, soil splashing up on those leaves. It also helps to retain moisture, and it will keep the soil cool when the temperatures rise. I don't typically mulch my tomatoes because I remove all of the lower branches on the tomato plants. Let me know in the comments if you're mulching and what do you use for mulch. While I took advantage of the cooler daytime temperatures to get these transplanted into their grow bags, tonight the temperature is expected to drop to 47 degrees, which is quite cool for these young transplants. So I've covered them with a plastic clutch. It has some ventilation holes at the top. It will capture the heat from the soil overnight and keep these young seedlings warm. Damp soil does a better job of keeping soil warm when the temperatures drop and keep the soil cool when the temperatures rise. So keep that in mind when you're dealing with extreme temperature fluctuations throughout the season. This is the following morning, and you can see that there's a good amount of humidity under the dome. So we're going to remove these. They look beautiful. They were protected overnight when the overnight temperatures dropped significantly. But today it's going to be 82 degrees. So we want to get these clutches off the tomatoes before the sun starts beating down on them and it basically cooks the tomato under the clutch. I'll be transplanting tomatillos, peppers, and eggplants this upcoming week, so be on the lookout for that video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos.